My name is Alexander Campbell, and yes, this is supposed to be in the dark on purpose. I am making this application video on the dark because it symbolizes where my life is now. I can honestly say I'm not the first Canadian-born citizen to ever apply for Survivor, but I can honestly say I have been the most consistent and have been doing this the longest. And yet you ignored me for 41 and 42. If a video was going to get me onto Survivor, it should have been the one I made on Isla del Rey, a Survivor filming location, before the pandemic, which you ignored. The three things that haunt me from that video that was ignored is that the first thing is I said that I'm between real life Survivor and fake Survivor right now, and I want to be on fake Survivor. I'm sick of playing real life Survivor. And I have been in those past 2 years, I've been in more real life Survivor than I have ever deserved, and I'm angry about it. I also, as a film school graduate and a film and television lifelong buff, I'm sure I asked about maybe you could employ me, and you completely ignored that while hiring other people since then. You know, I'm not talentless. Yeah, I don't have those film school things anymore. You know, John Alexander Campbell, graduate of Columbia College, 98. I said there were three things, but there's only two. I got to get moving. All right. I'm just going to summarize very quickly what is going on. I've been trying to the lockdown basically smashed my life. I was actually getting my life back together in Latin America. And the pandemic smashed my life. And I went to Toronto in a homeless hotel program. They put me in originally a ladies' shelter because I have gender dysphoria. And then they moved me up to a hotel program, and now I'm in a different hotel program. But essentially, that the hotel programs are closing in April, and I've been unable to get jobs because applying for jobs now is like trying to apply for Survivor. Ignored. Not you, not you, not you, not you. Let's hire somebody who went to Harvard and Brown and Georgetown instead. Woohoo. I'm sorry for having a lot of angerness and bitterness in my voice. That is not what you want in a Survivor contestant. You know, I know what you want in a Survivor contestant, and I can deliver that. I am you do cast the eccentric aging male, and I fit that perfectly. Even if I have gender dysphoria, I fit that archetype perfectly. I also have a huge understanding of television, more than the average contestant. That is not blather, that is true. I'll say that, I'll give myself that. But what should have happened is that should have been a way for me to get out of homelessness, get employed, and get on with my life. Instead, I had some people betray me in terms of my writing. And then last September, this really stupid incident happened that could really destroy my life. And that was, I was getting off an elevator, and this woman cuts in front of me. I was in a hurry. I didn't expect her to cut in front of me. I lose my balance. I accidentally kick her. Of course, I immediately apologize to her, but then she's got her husband waiting for her at the bottom, and he's screaming he's going to beat me up. They both put on a show. I try to apologize to them. Can't get through. Then I just okay, I just got to move on. which is normal. It's an accident. Like, what can you do? It's an accident. Then I find out in November, or no, actually October, that they're trying to get in October they're trying to get charges against me, which is ridiculous. Then in November, I decide to write her a sincere apology letter, so I have it on file, and basically explaining, like, trying to reason with her. I know it doesn't seem like an accident to you, but I know it, I'm sorry if I triggered something from your past. Stuff like that emphasize with her. She ignores it. And in December, just before Christmas, in December, on the Survivor finale, police knock on my door and told me they are going to charge me during the finale. My worst nightmare ever. And it was a Canadian-born citizen who won, who was not me. That was like a Kafkaesque dystopian or nightmare for me. That actually happened. Okay? Now I'm going to lower my volume. They messed it up. I had to go to the police station. They charged me. I was technically arrested. They gave me the same charge as domestic assault. What the fuck? And in Ontario, it's very hard to get like Ontario, you think would be like a civilized place. It is. It's Toronto. It's Ontario. However, what you don't know, and I'm not going to say Canada here, because, like, for example, Nova Scotia has a public defender system. Their court system is similar to the United States in Nova Scotia. It's just you got some different terms, crown instead of court, that kind of thing. That old English influence. But Ontario has a system that's completely foreign to the United States and some other provinces like Nova Scotia. And it's not better, it's actually worse. They don't have a public defender system here. They have a legal aid system, which is basically you have these attorneys that act as pro bono attorneys for people who can't afford it. You got to call them. There's this weird thing called a disclosure package. You can't get representation until you can get the package, and they try to dick you around so you can't get the package. And there's just and it's very difficult to get representation. And on top of it, they moved me to the same hotel that her son was in, who had been threatening me with violence for months, on the same floor in the same wing. Last week, it was just so much, I had a nervous breakdown. I hadn't had a nervous breakdown since my 20s. Now you know why I'm in the dark. Okay? All right. And so, being the real-life survivor player I am, I wrote the prosecutor. And also a little follow-up based on a dream that I had. To compensate for any mistakes I made in my first email. Hopefully something will come out of that, but I'm scared. I'm worried. I just started a volunteer position helping Afghan refugees. It took me 2 months to get that, and I find out on Monday they messed up my background check application. In October, November, I would have passed it. Now I'll get arrest from Toronto on it. So I don't know what to do about that. I might talk to the detective about that. Now, here's a person. I'm going to tell you something. I survived on documentation 25 years against my will in the United States. You're not impressed. Maybe it's because I'm a white guy, I look stupid. I don't know. I survived the Chicago 14 years where I had a warrant on my head because a police officer thought my wallet was a gun. I turned myself in to Cook County. You ignored that. I survived that. You ignored that. I got my life back, was getting my life back together in Latin America. You ignored that. Nothing about me impresses you, even though I still managed to be optimistic. I still manage to be intelligent. I still manage to be sensual. And I can be very funny, So I would love for Survivor. So I don't know. My court date is on the 21st. You know what? I know it's too late for me to be on Survivor. But hopefully that in August I'll be in a better situation and you'll want me. But if I could say to the court, like, hey, I got tickets to Fiji, that would really help me, man. Now I'm going to tell you another thing. One thing, if you had cast me on Survivor and did not ignore me, my life would be different. It would be better. Now, I know you cast the football players and the pretty bartenders and the Ivy League people, but if you don't cast them, their life is fine, as Jeff Probst would say. Their life is fine. But if you cast me, it would really make a difference in my life. I didn't get to see my family for Christmas this year. I haven't seen them in 22 years. If I had been on Survivor, I would have been there for Christmas. I'm not saying it's your responsibility. You got a TV show to make. I understand television, okay? You don't owe me anything. But I'm just saying that if you had chosen me to be on 41 and 42, my life would be completely different. I would have money to survive on, because any money I get, even if I'm the first boot, is more than I would get from Ontario Works in a year. Okay? And it would buy me some time to work out my life. And, I would have a little bit of fat, I could, it would help. It would be a survival tool for me. I love Survivor. I love you guys. I just want you to love me and see the value in me. Also, and I know I've been hard in some of my Toronto ones, but I don't know. Toronto's a very cruel city. And I know there's like a dump, as the great Steve Allen would say, of a dump. Basically, that you're with the Canadian survivors, you're only going to cast from Toronto and Vancouver and Montreal, and you're going to ignore most of Canada. I would love to be a casting director, man. I know exactly what you're looking for, and I would cast great television. I would really cast, and I would cast superfans in all provinces, in all territories. Actually, I've said this to you a million times. I think you should do this. Have an all-Canadian season with 4 tribes: Arctic tribe, Western Canada tribe, Central Canada tribe, Atlantic Canada tribe. Every province and territory is represented. That would be a really good season. Also, I feel that, I know that blue collar versus white collar versus no collar season fizzled in the U.S., but a Canadian version would actually work, because that is more true of Canada than it is the United States. To be quite frank with you. Anyway, that's enough for me. I hope you listen.